In this next question, it says that x is the set of all integers n that satisfy the inequality 2 is less than or equal to, whenever we see this stroke, equality absolute value. So 2 is less than or equal to the absolute value of n less than or equal to 5. Now, again, we need to understand what this inequality represents. It simply says that n can take any value between 2 and 5. Now, because there is an equal to sign added to the inequality sign, it means that this 2 and this 5 will be included in our set of values. So this n can either be 2, 3, 4, and 5. But because of this absolute value sign that we can see, it is important for us to remember that the absolute value of a number is always positive. The absolute value of a number is always positive. For example, the absolute value of minus 2 is the same thing as the absolute value of 2, which is 2. Whether the number is positive or negative, the absolute value will always be positive. Now, what that means is that if I pick minus 2 as n, by the time I put it into this inequality, it now becomes 2. The absolute value of n, which is minus 2, becomes 2. And because 2 is part of the list of the numbers that satisfy this inequality, we can say that minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, and minus 5 all satisfy the inequality given. Again, we can also take the positive value. The positive value 2, 3, 4, and 5, we have said before, satisfy this inequality. So, if we add everything together, set x, which is a set of all integers n that satisfy the inequality, now consists of these integers. The first one is minus 5. We also have minus 4, minus 3, minus 2. And then we take the positives 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now that we have all the elements or integers that are contained in x, we now go back to the question. Quantity A says the absolute value of the greatest integer in x. We can see the list of integers in x that the greatest of them is 5. The absolute value of 5 will also be 5. Quantity B says the absolute value of the least integer in x. The least integer in x we can see is minus 5. The absolute value of minus 5 will also be 5, because we said whether the number is positive or negative, the absolute value will always be positive. So quantity A is 5, quantity B is 5, and we can see that the correct answer to this question is C. Both quantities are equal.